All right. It's 11 o'clock Pacific time, Sunday, November 14th. This is the California Homebrewers Association live stream fall meeting. Usually these meetings are done in person in Anaheim, and it's a club's reps meeting for the SCHF, the Southern California Homebrewers Festival. We decided just to put it online so that we can have more people, more interaction, and kind of let other people, maybe you're just a member, you attend the event, go, but a little bit more details and to talk really about next year and SCHF 2022. So to introduce the board of directors, I'm going to go in reverse tenure on the board. So the first step would be Daryl Levy, one of our newest board members. How are you doing, Daryl?
I'm good, and good morning, everybody.
And then after that would be the two people that signed up the same time. That would be Ray Grace and Gabby Swider. So Ray, what's up?
Good morning, all. Happy to see you on a Sunday morning.
Gabby.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you.
And then we have, last but certainly not least, one of the longest serving board members other than Bruce Brode. It's Ernie Brody. How you doing, Ernie?
Very good. Greetings, everyone.
Excellent. So what we'll do today, we're going to have some slides. It's pretty simple stuff, and then we're going to end with a Q&A. So I asked people, if you're on YouTube right now, shoot your question on YouTube. We're watching that. And then there's some people in our Zoom room, our webinar. When it gets to the end and you want to get up and get on the panel, just use the hand-raising function in Zoom or message me, and then we will put you live in real time to the stream. So with that, we'll get started. So overview, we're going to just recap 2021, what we were able to do this year, what we weren't able to do this year. Of course, there's no fest, but we did do a couple things, and there's some new projects we're throwing out there for the CHA members and the member clubs so we can keep participating even year round. And then we'll look at SCHF 2022. We haven't done an event since 19, so it's been a minute, and I think it'd be good to go over the entire weekend point by point so that everyone knows what SCHF is. And when we start doing the clubs, because really SCHF, well, it's an event we help run. The real membership is what drives it. It's really a community effort. So I think it's good for everyone to know about it and know more about it. And if you've never attended one, because you maybe started homebrewing last year or 2 years ago, you're in for a real treat for 22. So year in review, I think makes everyone very highly aware. We did not do events in 2020 or 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It was a big bummer for everyone. We're really, we really wanted to put these events on. The CHA board of directors, this is why we do this. It takes it very seriously. So, we couldn't put that event on. But we do know that many people camped out at Vail Lake this year at the same weekend, that first weekend in May, and the non-fest fest or the not fest. And it sounded like it went off quite well. Club booths were set up. People had a good time. And what we're really happy to hear is that, though it was non-sanctioned, we just people attending. It was not an SCHF or a CHA, but everyone was very respectful of the park. Vail Lake KOA said, not a peep, no issues. We're very happy to hear that, and that's excellent. So people will get together a little bit during the summer. And then what else we've added this year? Kind of a new concept to keep people kind of in a little kind of competitive mood, a competitive spirit during the year, rather than just at SCHF, where we've introduced something called the SCHF Club of the Year. SCHF Club of the Year is a competition where points are derived from two sources, both your local homebrew competitions and from competitions we run. And there was two competitions we ran this year. They're kind of like the bragging rights only competition at Fest, but we call them the best of shows, and these are limited entry CHA only membership in certain styles, and then the board of directors judges those and awards points. And so we just want to remind to thank people that help make that happen, because we're not only judging it, but we need stewards and hosting breweries. So again, thank previous board member Spence Coleman, him and his team, Denise and Rob and Steve and all these guys. They show up and actually put in quite a bit of work to make sure those competitions happen. So thank you guys again. And thank you for our two kind of supporting breweries, hosting breweries, Syncopated in the summer and then Liberation in the fall. We just did that last weekend. It was a great time. We had a great morning, afternoon, and great beers all around. So thank you again. So a little bit more on Club of the Year. Like we said, it's a new kind of competition. It's there's I think the only kind of analogy I've seen is there's some clubs that run point competitions internally with their clubs and name a homebrewer of the year. There's also I don't know if it's defunct or not, but there was a competition called the California Homebrew Club of the Year, which was derived by points and other competition. So we're trying some new. It's on our website, so you can check it out there. I highly recommend you read about that. We're done with our two competitions, and then we have a few more competitions that are what we call recognized competitions around Southern California, and we're looking for new ones to add to the schedule next year. So let us know what we've been focusing on for those competitions. And this was just a choice we made for the first season of it. Was the size, scope, scale, and known high quality judging. Was possible, and so we looked at that, and we're more than happy to reconsider things and look at new competitions and expand to other places what we're missing. So I think the reminders here, don't forget to submit your points at calhomebrewers.org. Once the points are publicized, we tally them up and double verify them and tally those scores up. So don't forget to submit your points. And we use these Club of the Year as a vehicle for 2022. 21, but for going forward, the goal would be to use the bragging rights only competition at Fest as one of the two CHA competitions. So one of the first competitions next year for the 2022-2023 season is the bragging rights only at SCHF 2022. And so we will be announcing the winner of 2021-2022 at Fest, and there will be a trophy. We are working on that trophy. It's going to be pretty awesome. I can guarantee that. And it's going to be a lot of fun and be a good award to win because it really means you've put in the effort. Your club put in the effort throughout the year to really place well and make excellent beer. That's what we want to celebrate, making excellent beer. So with that, for those that are not aware of what SCHF is, or Southern California Homebrewers Festival, so it's a large, roughly 1,500 person event. It's usually in Southern California. It's bounced around a few places. Currently we host it at Vail Lake KOA, just outside of Temecula, California. Again, it's about 1,500 people. It's been as many as 2,000, and it's since 1991. It was started in Temecula. The Shalurzo family winery, that name might sound familiar for people that know about Russian River Brewing Company. They hosted one of the first ones. We had been going on for many years, different campsites all around the kind of San Diego, Riverside County area. We moved up to Lake Casitas back in 07-08 for a little bit. We missed one event one year in 2014 due to some legislation that changed that affected our ability to put on SCHF. But we worked with the state government and local California representatives to change that law to allow us to have our event again. And of course, we missed the last couple of years. But it's been going on for quite a while. So what's the plan for SCHF going forward for 2022? I mean, the goal, the bottom line is business as usual. Our belief is we're going to be well capable. We'll have no issues putting on this event in 2022. The only thing we can foresee, and the only thing we always say, is we are always beholden to state, local, federal regulations. So we always play by their rules. I think the ABC office and the sheriff in Riverside is the two most important governing bodies of our event, other than Vail Lake itself. And whatever they say, it goes. And we do not foresee any issues or anything. And we're not going to add any restrictions on top of whatever they say. Whatever that they have, that's it. So that's the goal. So normally, right around now, we would be having this meeting physically, and we'd be talking more about planning and brass tacks. But really, we're going to be doing that here and just kind of communicating to you, the membership, and to our clubs and club reps about how we're going to go. And so it should look a lot like 2020, even though we stopped the planning process in March of 2020. But in January of this coming year, we're going to do our campsite call out. So I think I want to throw it to Ernie real quick just to brief everyone on kind of camping at Vail Lake. Ernie's been kind of the liaison to the Vail Lake Management Company. So maybe a couple minutes, Ernie, on camping so far.
Okay, so I've talked to, let me try this. So I talked to Vail Lake, KEI, and they're really happy that we're coming back, excited to get us back. They've got some good improvements that they've done to the campsites over these past 2 years. They're putting in a lot of infrastructure. So yeah, we've got nothing but good things to say as far as Vail Lake goes. As far as a campsite call out, that's going to be business as usual. That's a January idea. And
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
we should be in good shape.
Cool. So yeah, so like I said, we're I think we're rock and roll with Vail. And so this kind of Christmas and Thanksgiving get a little crazy with emails and stuff, but we'll be putting on emails on how to get on the email list, and then we're gonna do another random call out order, and then that'll be the list. You'll get called, and every club rep gets two phone calls, a second primary and secondary phone call, just in case you don't miss that window. I would say the bigger changes is that Vale Lake now has fixed in-ground, a limited number of fixed in-ground kind of cabins. Those are, of course, more expensive than a campsite, but otherwise it should be the same. We have very similar, if not identical, rules about how many tents, how many people. Costs will go up slightly. We don't have I don't have the figures in front of me right now, but from when we used to camp there, the cost will come up a bit. And we work with Vale Lake to try to get a preferred pricing because we do go and tend to take every single site. So they try to give us a little bit of a deal there. So that will all come out way in front of the call out itself and make sure everyone knows that. But we're planning on a January call out. This is similar to last time. And then in February, since we're kind of rebooting and everyone's dusting the cobwebs off, the one thing we ask all the clubs to have is someone that has this what's called a RBS, or Responsible Beverage Server Certificate. Since it's been a few years, pretty much everyone's certificates have lapsed. They're not probably going to be relevant. And then there is some new classes and that have been generated in the last 2 years or so that we just need to make sure everyone is aware of, and you're making sure you're getting the right certificate, just so that we have our paperwork correct and you have your paperwork correct. And we, as a reminder to anyone that does do that certificate process for their club, we do reimburse that fee. It's about $15 usually, and that's just so that we are giving your club and the people that go to your booth a peace of mind that there has been some level of training in terms of alcohol service, because our event is kind of like 50 different breweries showing up and serving beer, right? So we want to make sure we're all above board in that regard. And then say usually we do a spring reps meeting, and that'll be usually at Temecula or in Temecula. And I would envision that would be a physical meeting for a March, April timeframe. But what we will do going forward, because we've gotten so used and we have the technology and the mics and everything to do this hybrid, we will do it hybrid. So if you can't attend the meeting, we will still have a stream or recording of that live to tape, so that you don't have to miss out on anything. So we'll just keep doing that going forward, because now it is fairly easy, fairly straightforward to do that. So that will come out, and we'll have all the typical questions about, we need to make sure your club is willing to sign up, is definitely going to be at Fest. We have a final checkoff on that, because there are some penalties if you say you're going to show up and then don't. That's happened a couple times. And then we also allow, you can petition to have a second booth if your club is larger than normal, needs more than a 110 by 10. You can petition to have a second booth, and there's a little fee attached to having that second booth. But some clubs have gotten so big that they do need 2 booths, and that makes sense. So we want to accommodate that, just because you'll have so many beers to serve. It makes sense for us, and we leave a few of these on the side, just depending on space and number of clubs and stuff. We tend to prioritize new clubs over double booths, but we understand some clubs have just gotten so big they need a second booth. All right, so SCHF kind of by the numbers. I'm going to let Ernie do Friday, and then I'm going to do Saturday. So Ernie, why don't you take SCHF Friday over?
Okay, so for those of you that have done Fest before, how this looks, and most of you are well versed in this. But for those that may not know, or you're piggybacking on top of a club that's gone before, Friday is the day that all the clubs come and load in. And so we will be there in advance, of course, setting all of the festival site area up, getting ready for all the clubs to come in. This takes us days, 3 days to set up, in fact. And Friday we'll be putting the finishing touches on it. It usually, in years past, we can be ready by 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, if everything's going well. In 18 or not, I guess it was 19. No, it was 18. We actually were able to open it up by like noon. No promises this year, especially after 2 years without a fest. There's going to be a lot more unknowns since we haven't seen the site. But anticipate 3 o'clock. If we can get you guys in earlier, all the better. We want to get everyone in. We know all the clubs come with trailers and all your stuff, and you want to get in and get set up so you can get back to the campsites, get ready for that night's festivities, whatever that may look like. But again, you got to be patient because it takes us some time to set this up. So like I said, plan on 3. If we can get you in earlier, then all the clubs come in. We will have someone at the front gate like we did back in 18 with packets for the clubs as they come in, and that will give you your booth number, your location, the particulars in the camp setup area. Before we had a tour, it was a one-way in, one-way out to alleviate congestion, and that worked quite well. No leaving unattended vehicles. That was a real problem in the few years past. We ask only the vehicles that are coming to actually offload to offload. And once it's offloaded, get the car out of there because it's just a really tight area. We need all the space we can get. So this is kind of what Friday looks like. Everyone's setting up. Everyone as quick as you can get in, get out, because then bro comes quicker than you know. We're having to collect all those entries and get ready to do those judgings.
That's the bragging. That's the bragging rights only competition. That is, all those entries are due Friday night, Friday afternoon.
Right. So those are getting dropped off. And then, of course, we do have festivities on Friday night, and that varies from year to year. But depending on what this year looks like, we're getting ready to do all of that as well. So at a certain point in time, we have to clear all of the setup. We have to just cut it off, clear everyone out, and get ready to let people in Friday night, get people started to get wristbanded up, and get ready for Friday night and Saturday morning.
Excellent. Thank you, Ernie. Yeah. So some of that stuff we've done in the past, and we will, try to kind of replicate what we've done, but, we'll have a band usually. We have some pro pour, so we have a few professional brewers show up, and then, I would say 20 or 30% of the clubs will pour that night, maybe a special beer. So there's something to do, and it'll be a couple hours, license event, and you can utilize our license, and we're gonna use it to the max, and it's fun. It's a fun little warm up. I think in general, most people will get their wristbands on Friday night just to alleviate any stress on Saturday morning. And most people do come in on Friday night. It's fun. And some people even said, come in Thursday, Wednesday, make a weekend out of it, or make a longer weekend out of it. It is sometimes a long drive to Temecula, depending on where you're coming from, but you can make it a little longer vacation and still have a great time. And now Temecula has so many more breweries too. So there's plenty to check out in Temecula than 5 years ago. So. All right, so Saturday, again, it's a all-day in and out accessible event from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Yes, it's 10 hours long. It is a marathon, not a sprint. And then throughout that day, we have all the clubs pouring. 40 plus homebrew clubs pouring. There's a little bit of setup in the morning, but not too much. We want really everyone set up Friday night, not really moving too much on Saturday. And then we clear out we're about an hour before license time. We clear the site out, just make sure all the wristbands, everyone's wristbanded up, and we have a 21 and up event. It's a reminder, actually, for those people that may have not been to SCH before. SCHF is strictly a 21 plus event. Unfortunately, with our license type and how we're structured within Riverside and ABC, we cannot allow anyone under 21 at the event whatsoever. So just as a reminder going forward, 21 and up. That does not apply to the campsite, by the way. That only applies to our event, our licensed event. So if you're camping with your family, that's fine. But unfortunately, their children, toddlers cannot be at SCHF. And then we open up the fest. So then, like I said, 40 homebrew clubs. We want to do, and as a kind of mission of CHA, California Homebrew Association, is to promote home brewing. We want to bring you high quality education at the same time at our event. So we tend to get at least 2 speakers to talk on subjects ranging from home brewing topics, new yeast, new ingredients. Sometimes professional brewers have great stuff. We want to bring you those speakers because we have the ability and a hosting place to learn something. In 2019, we had a great meadery give a quick jot on their meads, and we tried some excellent homemade meads. We've had Brewlosophy, Marshall from Brewlosophy speak. We've had tons of different people, and we always try to find the best, most timely people for those talks. So we look forward to that. We'll have live music on Saturday as well, and we do we have a merchandise booth. One of the free times during the year you can buy CHA merchandise, and we do a large raffle. The raffle is always a big treat for everyone. We have grab bags for about 100 people, and then we have big prizes, stage prizes, all the way up to a three vessel, 10-gallon brew system. And so it's a lot of fun. We get some great donations. We have great sponsors for that, and it's a great time. And yeah, and so then, of course, it wouldn't be an event without all the homebrew that we have. And like I said, we have a count. I believe maybe Ray raised his hand. I think I know what he's going to ask. There's Ray Grace is from Long Beach Homebrew Club, and Long Beach. I'm blanking on his name right now, Ray, but you can remind me. There's a report that comes out every year with how many kegs are actually at Fest. You want to chime in?
Yeah, that's George, our secretary, long time, who does that report. I was just going to say, in terms of the merchandise, we do have a lot of that stuff is available for purchase through our website year round. So you want some stuff before going to Fest, ready to go, grab it that way.
Yeah, check our shop out. It's not too busy these days, but you can definitely do that, and I will lovingly package it into a USPS box and ship it directly to you. So with that's Fest. I mean, if it goes to 9 p.m. and we do a clear out and go back to your campsite and have more fun back at your campsite. And then SCHF Sunday, there is no event, so to speak, but we do need everyone to pack up the bars and everything. We don't want anyone. There's no loadout Saturday nights. We don't want anyone to do anything Saturday night after a complete day of heavy entertainment and heavy work. So you show up on Saturday morning. We unlock the gates. You can start breaking your bar down and getting it out of there. Because then what we do is walk the site with our vendors, fence vendors, booth vendors, everything, and we take everything out, and then they pack it all up by Sunday afternoon. But yeah, that is a Fest in a nutshell. Of course, can't be related to without going to it and seeing it in person. But let's try to give people a taste of what Fest is. So with that, there's a couple more things, but I'm gonna throw it to Gabby right now because we're working on some stuff for going forward with how the CHA communicates to its membership, to its clubs, and to homebrewers all over California. So Gabby, you want to just do a quick breakdown of this survey?
Sure. So you'll notice that there's a QR code. We'll put the link in the chat here in a moment for those that want to use the link as well. But one of the things that we're trying to do this year is making sure that we are supporting all of you all and your clubs on social media. So we have a quick survey with two things in it. The first one is voting for the bragging rights only competition. So you'll have a chance to weigh in on what the bro style should be. So there's a question for that. And then a couple questions just asking about, what's your Instagram handle for your club? Do you have any big events that you'd like us to help amplify on social media? Some stuff like that. So please take a moment to complete that survey when you have a chance, and it will be open through the end of the year. So please encourage the rest of your club to fill that out as well. Thank you.
Excellent. Appreciate that. Thank you, Gabby. So yeah, check that out. It's we're trying something new. We want to make sure that we're helping you guys out. We can be a good resource for these kind of running events and making sure everything's legit, wall to wall, legally when you do these bigger events and so public facing. So, and just want in whatever you have meetings, you want to have them, posted up. Well, let's do that. So cool. With that, that was closing off the official written segment of the talk. But what we'll do now is I see one question already in the chat, or a couple. We'll take those, and if you're on the Zoom, raise your hand or communicate to us if you want to come on the stream and talk to us for a little bit. But right now, the one question we had was from Terry Malloy, and Terry asked about did Vale Lake fix the power? And didn't say where, but we're going to assume he means Arroyo and lower Arroyo. And I'll let Ernie fill in the answer on that one.
Long story short is no. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but just knowing that Vale Lake had been the campground had been let gone. If you're familiar with that area at all, or have gone to Fest before, which Terry, I know you have. The infrastructure in that area is so poor that they found out the last year we were there, they were able to restore power to 36 sites. And that's all in the forward part of Arroyo. that is still the way it is. They restored more, and then the transformers couldn't handle it. So they've come to a point where that's all they're going to fix for right now before they do a complete correction. And they're actually holding off that correction until after our event, so they can keep the entire part of Arroyo, the first part you come into, and then the lower, the back part, the entire area open for us if we need it. But no, that entire area for the most part is dry camping. You get a discount on camping fees for that weekend because of that. I believe it's a $15 discount. I believe, don't hold me to this, I believe it's 55 and 70 a night, powered and or non-powered. But yes, that's going to be the way it's going to look. And all the other areas look exactly the way they did in years past. All of the oaks, Chardonnay, Merlot, and like Andy alluded to, there's now some new deluxe cabins in a couple areas that took away a little camping, but not anything major. So
and then
that's what it's going to look.
The eco tents, was that going to be done? I can't remember if that you had mentioned that was done.
Eco tents are going to be in place. So now that is lower Chardonnay, the top of the hill. There's a bottom area, and they are going to be set. They're like yurts, but they will not be completed by our event. The deluxe cabins, of which there will be about a dozen of those, maybe 15, in lower Merlot area, which is to the left of the oaks, up kind of on that small hill. Those are all supposed to be completed by our event. And they haven't got us a hard number on those, but they're going to be around 3+ a night, 300 plus a night. But they're quite deluxe.
Yeah.
So,
the camping, so these new camping things, these are more common in other KOAs. Something I was not aware of because I've never really stayed at a KOA. But if you have stayed at KOAs, they have many tiers of camping, right, for any budget, and so that's what you're seeing is an improvement in a value add on the camping experience. Well, we'll take away some of our sites. I'm sure there are people that are going to want that experience, and part of the campsite call out will be that we can't really it's always first come first serve on the campsite call out, right? It's if you're first, you're first. And so if you guys want those kind of sites, of course, those are limited and you can't necessarily be with other people, but they'll be available during the campsite call out. See that Denise is on YouTube. Do we have Pro Pour set up? We have not started that list yet. But for those that don't know, and Friday nights, we invite approximately 5 pro breweries that have not only a strong connection to home brewing, whether it's their upper management or their brewing staff, but have a known high quality track record for excellent beer manufacture. And we want to bring them there in a small capacity, just have a few, and they want to bring something special and then there. So if you have a local brewery, Southern California, but we're willing to take anyone. We've had people come in out of state, and we're looking for all those types of people. But if there's a brewery that you know of that you would like to throw at us, please do throw them at us. We have a few rubric requirements. I would say the main one, other than what I just listed about high quality beer and home brewing connection, is we would like to see them be open at least 1 year before they go to attend fest, just so that they have that the track record is established. So, but yes, please let us know. And I think the other thing, in general, is we're trying not to do any repeats. So we've had about 35 breweries in the last 5 years, and we're trying to only find new ones and not have the same people come back. Now, we haven't done a fest in a couple of years, so I'm sure there's already breweries that have opened up that we're already missing. So, but do let us know. We look at that list and we contact them, and usually it's a win-win for everyone to show up and pour your craft beer in front of 1,000 real craft beer experts, beer homebrewing experts. So, all right. I'm not seeing anyone want to get on the stream. I'm not seeing any more questions. So maybe we'll power this down a little bit. There was a question about that survey. So that link, we'll put that link back up. I'll just put the link on the screen right now so people can click it. Is it one per club? In theory, you really should only get one of these per club, but if you know something and you want to send it to us, we'll filter the results. No worries. But But if the club reps would do it, that'd be great. But if you're if you're not sure who your club rep is, it's on our list on our website. You can also email me to find that club rep. But you can fill that out, and we'll obviously filter the results out, no problem. Todd Peterson on Crown of the Valley asks, we're going to change anything about dispense? No, we are not going to impose any rules that would be beyond what the state and local governments ask of us. So it would be the same. That's it. It is literally business as usual going forward. So let's see. Okay. Deadline for the survey. That's January 1st. Deadline for the survey, January 1st, John. Jan 1. We'll close it out then. Give everyone enough time. I understand that sometimes the clubs only have a website or don't have a social media presence, or it's a limited Facebook group, only 10 or 15 people, and that's fine. But we do want to give the clubs an opportunity that if they're doing more stuff that's beyond just your meetings, or if you want to promote your meetings, if you're seeing attendance kind of drop off at your meetings and you're not getting that exposure, well, hit us up. We can help out. I'm going to throw it to Ray. What's up, Ray?
I just wanted to make sure and let everyone know, if they don't realize, this is the Mother's Day year. So Fest is last weekend of April, not first weekend of May. So plan your vacations accordingly.
Yes. Yeah. That is, that's probably the most frequent question I get in my email box about Fest is, when is Fest? And the rubric for many years or forever has always been the first weekend in May, but there's a caveat. If it's first weekend in May is Mother's Day, it'll be the last weekend in April. And that's April 29, April 30, 2022, Vail Lake, KOA, Temecula, California. Those are the dates. Mainly Fest is on the Saturday, but of course we now have Friday night. So I'm not seeing anything else. So I think what we'll do is I'm going to stop sharing the screen. And now we're in the mosaic mode. So hold on. So I just want to thank everyone, thank the board, taking time out today to talk to the membership. And I think the next time, we're going to talk to everyone on email. So the club reps will get emails. We've been doing a newsletter. If you've not seen our newsletter, if you're not a CHA member, we're doing a monthly newsletter where we update people on what we're doing, update you on what everyone else is doing. And so you're going to keep seeing that every month. But I think the next time you'll hear from us, we're going to be getting that. We want to hear your survey, get those results, bring those in, and then we'll send back out a list of bragging rights styles. And then on top of that, we're going to talk to the club reps and get the campsite call out going. So with that, well, thank everyone. Thank you guys for hanging out. This will be taped and saved on YouTube forever. So bye-bye, everyone.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.